In a previous video, I prepped the Super Duty Dana 60 to swap into my project. Now here's my rear axle. This is the Sterling 10.5 inch. Basically going to be putting some new spring perches on it and some other little stuff just to get this thing ready to swap in. So let's get started. We're also trying hat cam for the first time. This might take some getting used to. I don't know about this. So here's where this leaf spring perch was. I measured it, and the center to center on these perches was 45 inches, and we're shooting for 43.25. So we're first going to pull our measurement on this side from flange to the inside of this perch is 5 5/8. This perch is a 3-inch wide perch, so we are looking at the center line of 7 1/8 for these guys. So now we've got some math to do to figure out where our new perches go. 45 inches center to center, and then we're moving to 43.25, which is 1 3/4 different, split in half because you're doing half that difference on both sides. So we're now moving it in 7/8 of an inch. Now going to dead on at 8 inches on center, and now we have a 2.5 inch wide perch. So we need the inside edge to be at 9 1/4 and the outside edge to be at 6 3/4. So let's get it done. You can actually reuse these, it's not a big deal, but this is 3-inch wide and I'm going to 2.5, so it's kind of useless to me anyway. Instead, I bought perches. These can be found at most of the fabrication parts stores. These are from Rough Stuff Specialties. I also throw some weld through primer on the back here, just so that even if I don't get paint on it after I'm done, it's still got some kind of protection. That's also what's on the axle tubes as well. That's weld through primer, so you can just spray it on there and you can weld right to it. So now we set this perch down here and double check our measurement from the same spot. And we're right at that 8-ish inches on center. Next we need to figure out our angle. Okay, so I've already measured this and I know these perches need to be parallel to the pinion. So if we check the angle finder here, we've got right about 12 degrees leaned forward because these pinion flanges are perpendicular to the pinion. So now we just need to make sure that we replicate that over here. We are more like 6 degrees. So I'm going to tilt this down, so we're right about there. I'm going to tack this into place, just one tack there and one tack here, so that it holds these guys in place. I don't really want to tack under here, because if I have to break this loose and rotate it to get my pinion angle just right, these are going to interfere with it rotating and spinning on the tube. But if you tack up here, cut that tack, you can still spin the perch on the tube. And there we are. She's all tacked in place. Do one last check here. I'm measuring from the outside of that one to that same edge on this one. That's the same as doing a center to center. 43.25. Whew, we nailed it. One last thing I want to do with this axle before I get it under the truck is I want to take off these stupid brake dust shields. I've never really seen these things do anything but cause problems. And especially on a trail truck or anything you're going to be taking off-road, I think that they're worse on than they are off. It technically does change where your emergency brake drum sits relative to the inside of the rotor, but that little sheet metal is not going to hurt anything to be gone. So let's get that done. Next time I pull the e-brake stuff out and the hub off, then I'll just pull this plate out. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Time for the other side. There we go. Perches are in place, and now we can get the brake rotors on because those useless dust shields are out of the way. That's really all I need to do to this thing to prep it for going under the truck. Shock mounts will come once it's under there because I have no idea where my upper shock mounts or anything are going to be able to go. So that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Oh boy. Shower and beer or beer and shower? Maybe beer in the shower. I killed two birds with one stone.